everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run on Battlegrounds Mars with Hunter. For my subclass, I'll be using Nightstalker. Here are the mods and fragments I'll be using in this video. So as always, because this season is grindy and extremely not fun, I'm going to be using Wish Ender. I'm going to be using a scout rifle, Eternal Blazon, with the Roar of the Bear. Anyway, mainly this is gonna be a invisibility finisher build, 6 Coyote build. I mean, there's really not much I can say about the mods I'm using. I'm not using any surges because there's no point in me using it. I'm not using any Font of Wisdom or any wisdom mods because there's no point. Mainly it's a build where I can get my dodge back faster with finishers. This week I decided to force myself touch grass a bit and then do the GM, not really a nightfall, so I'm going to call it a thing where it's a harder version of Battleground, which for some reason decided to hang out the Vanguard playlist. So mainly for here, this is going to be the Hunter run, and I'm going to do the mini cheese at the towers. Mainly, I read it on Reddit and decided to try it out. What you do over here is you don't touch any acolytes or anything. I shoot one rocket with auto-loading holster. Now, the reason why I'm using it is because it's bugged. It's not working ever since the beginning of the season, and no one's really talking about it, which is really annoying. I might make a video short about it because I'm really getting irritated that solo rocket auto-loading holster mod is not working, and it's starting to piss me off a bit because I thought they were gonna fix it, but no, they're not gonna do that, which is a bummer. I am going to unlock the towers, mainly just C. Just one little rocket at B and then go to C, and I'm gonna go over here and relax. So mainly you're going to have C captured. You need to wait for Tower C to be captured before capturing Tower B. You know, that's basically what you do for this section. And hold on, let me touch some grass. So for this one, I really did not want to do commentary because I really don't think it's worthy of my time. To the point where I'm using my regular controller, not the new one, because it's not really worthy of my time even using the $200 controller for this Mars. That's how much I hate this Battleground, that for some reason moved to a Grandmaster. During this section, you must shoot down B. Try your best not to shoot any acolytes and just pray for console aim assist. Now, when you do see the acolytes that are around the tower, make sure you kill 2 of them. You can also use explosive payload on a scout, but I didn't use it. I did it on purpose, so I'll tell you later why I did that. Another wave of 2 acolytes will be behind the tower, and you can use your bow or you can use a rocket. Now you're just gonna wait, so if you do have the emote of touch grass, well, just touch grass a bit because it's gonna get a little bit crazy. And I really refuse to call this a nightfall, so I'm just gonna call it the harder version of Battleground because it doesn't belong on the playlist. And that's me, by the way. Everyone's different. In my opinion, doesn't belong here. Why is it even here? What is it doing here? That can make a lot of rants. And another reason is I didn't do a lot of commentaries because it was taking triple of my time. And I knew I was going to complain or make many rants on my commentary runs, which I didn't want to do. But unfortunately, I just have to say something. And it is getting a bit ridiculous, especially this season with all these new mods, all these change-ups. me complaining about Orb Seekers, but now they're gonna bring it for next season. Probably be a nerf version, to be honest. So once you capture B and C, we're gonna go A. But before capturing A or breaking the rocks, you must take down this mini boss, which I will do a mini time skip because I'm not gonna waste people's time of me just spamming Wish Ender. So I'm going to save 2 minutes of your life, so you're welcome. Alright. So just use your super, back away, and then just make sure you take down this knight. So I'm gonna do a mini time skip, and then we're gonna get to the point, which I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know. Right? So once we take down this mini boss, which took 2 minutes of my life, you know, just spamming Wish Ender with double kinetic reloader. I'm not even sure if double is making it work or not. Haven't really truly tested out. I tried to, but it didn't make me a tiny difference. So mainly you could clear all the ads and then break the rocks. For me, I didn't do it because I got extremely impatient on the tower part. I did took my time at the boss fight since it was my first time being there ever. So I am going to be breaking the rock soon. So before I break it, I need to go all the way from the back, right? And I need to deal with this shiny acolyte, take him down quickly, mainly a mini boss, I guess, you know, for Battleground. It's not really a strike or a nightfall, but it's like a harder version, right? So I was trying to see if I can break the rocks from far distance because I need to spawn kill this shiny mini boss. And the reason why is because he will disable your super, your ability, if I remember. I could be wrong. And he is going to spawn a Shrieker, which is a complete nightmare for Warlock and Hunter. Well, for mainly all characters. For Warlock, for Titan, for Hunter, it's not fun. So you have to take him down very quickly. And the best way is to break the rocks from far distance and then just go where the mini boss will be spawning. Now here I was just double checking because I didn't want the acolytes to throw fire at me. They can actually throw fire on this top platform where I'm standing. Now I am using a scout rifle that has disruption break, and the reason why I'm using it is to break the Arcanite shield and get a 50% more damage on kinetic for 5 seconds, because for this week the surge is solar, not void, so I'm not getting the extra, I would say 25% on the kinetic bow. But anyway, I'm going to spawn kill this shiny acolyte mini boss because we don't want him to go and activate the Shrieker and disable your super. So once I do that, then I'm going to be dealing with unstoppable champions. So there's going to be around 2 of them that will spawn. I was just trying to see, this was a test by the way, if I can take down the unstoppable champions from this specific spot. It was just a test run, I don't recommend it. I was just trying it out. See if it works or not. It didn't really work out too well. So I would just go all the way from the back where you were dealing with the mini boss and then just take him down. This is too dangerous. I mean, you can see here, perfect example that the acolyte, you know, just didn't want me to cheat. Well, not cheat, but didn't even want me to, you know, stay in that spot for too long. So plan B was just go back to the Pacific area where I was dealing with the mini boss. Well, the most tankiest mini boss. I mean, the main boss is actually more tankier, which is funny, but we're gonna do the mini cheese. So as you guys noticed, there's gonna be 2 unstoppable champions. Make sure you take them down. And try your best to even look from the left side. See, sometimes these acolytes or thralls can sneak up on you from the left side. That's why I was just looking, you know, a little bit, you know, slow a bit from the left. Just see if there's anything going on. So once we take down the unstoppable champions, you can actually stay in this spot just to clear the Arcanites. You have to make sure there is no ads at the tower of where you're capturing it. For me, I got impatient, so I decided to just go there and then just spam rockets. I got really impatient, but as I said before, you know, everyone is different. You can also go all the way from the front side, from the back, from the left side, and then just deal with the ads there. I mean, I could have done that, but I didn't really do it so much. I just thought of a different method for the hunter. So right now I'm just waiting for my super so I can use it and abuse it. And then just get this third tower captured. So there's going to be a whole bunch of ads. And the reason why is because I didn't clear them down before destroying the rocks for A. So I was rushing it a bit. And I got impatient. So yes, there's gonna be all these ads that you had to take down. But as I said before, mainly need to take down the ads that are standing at the tower. And then it's going to slowly capture it. So you can see here, this blue highlight, it's starting to capture. But then once ads are touching the tower, then it's gonna stop. And then this is when you have to take down these acolytes, take down these Arknights. I mean, here I was just fighting for my super. But here's just an example where you could just stand here and then you could just take down the Arknights, the Acolytes. And you can see these highlights. These X highlights means that you need to take down these certain ads because they're not letting you capture the tower. So now I'm just going to spam finisher. I'm going to use a fragment where it just makes them have volatile rounds. And it's perfect because if I have a lot of rockets, I could just spam rockets and they'll do more damage. So yeah, you're going to be seeing me spamming it a lot. I also have a overshield, so funny story. Remember last season I was using that overshield. I even forgot what mod was it called. Because this season they just, you know, throw a bunch of new mods. You know, they did some tweaks and, you know, try to make it challenging and difficult. You know, to the point where I have to try my best to memorize all the mods, and I forgot the mods from last season, except firepower or power, which they nerfed it a lot. But anyway, just spam finisher, jump, use rockets. This is me of the rushing. I know this is risky, but you have an overshield. Especially for your class armor, it really helps a lot. So you won't get one shot from the Arknights. Well, 2 shot for this version. So it was just spamming the rockets, spamming a lot of my super, spamming finishers with the fragment mod, which I forgot what's it called, but this is basically gonna be my build for the new dungeon coming up. I don't think I'll get a day 1 because of work, you know, life stuff. But I am not a streamer. Can't play 12 hours a day. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I'll definitely get the dungeon done, but probably day 2, the video, day 3. I don't think I'll be able to do a day 1. Work is work, life is life. Alright, let me touch some grass. Hold on. And now we're going to be capturing the 3rd tower. Now this is going to be the most annoying part. And I hate this so much. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to explain this because this doesn't even make any sense. As I said, this battleground doesn't even belong. Doesn't even belong in a playlist. Like, why is it even here? Why is battleground on Nightfalls? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. I refuse to call this a Nightfall. So anyway, we have to take down these champions first. So I was just trying to see if I can take down the unstoppable champion from this spot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. For me, I got impatient, so I'm just gonna go for plan B, and I don't like it, but hey, it works. You can go on top of the second floor, and you can deal with the champions from here. There's gonna be Arc Knights, Acolytes. It's just a lot of things that just doesn't make any sense. I just can't believe it. This is the worst GM I have ever seen this season ever. I don't like it. I hate it. Doesn't make sense. I don't really enjoy it at all. I don't enjoy this season. I barely played any Nightfalls this season. For me, it was just getting it done. Meta weapons done, and then just wait for next season. It just doesn't make any sense. And when I say it doesn't make any sense, I'm talking about the difficulty. The balanced difficulty doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place. There's just so many bugs with this battleground. I don't think it's supposed to be meant for solo or anything. It's just a battleground playlist, you know, from Europa, from Cosmodrome, and they just decided to put it here. Maybe they ran out of ideas, or maybe players were complaining that they need the challenge. We need challenge. Give us a challenge. And like, okay, here you go. Battlegrounds. I just don't understand, and it's starting to anger me a bit. So disappointed this season. You know, it's really hard to be positive because there's just too many bugs over here. You know, all my attempts was just bugs and Arc Knights teleporting and one-shotting me. Mini boss one-shotting me, teleporting. Champion teleports and stomps me. The unstoppable champion. The barrier just teleports behind me and then just two-shots me. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, this run I was just lucky because I didn't have a lot of bugs. Maybe some audio problems. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I was using the rocket and super, the audio was kind of making this frizzy noise. And it hurt my ears so much because I put sound 10 for me. So just thank me that I actually had to lower the audio, the gameplay audio, because honestly, the audio will hurt your ears if I didn't lower it down. So thank me for that. And as I said before, commentary takes triple amount of time. Sometimes it's just not worth it. And I feel like console players are not getting supported enough. And sometimes I think Bungie doesn't care about console players. I'm sorry, I know this is horrible to say, but that's how I feel. Alright, so we're going to be hacking the door, or we're going to defend the ghosts. So what you can do over here is turn invisible, and you could just wait until these champions spawn in. So once the champions spawn in, you can't stand behind the ghost because the ghost will get lazy and it's going to force you to deal with the champions. Now this spot isn't really so safe. You just have to be careful with these ads doing these surprise attacks. I mean, that's the main problem for this area. There's really nowhere you can hide or go. There's either stand on this platform, move around, or you can go all the way from the back side, from the left. Just stay there for a while and then move. You know, that's basically it. I mean, for the hunter, I mean. So here you can also deal with the champion unstoppable from this area. But the problem is sometimes the unstoppable champion doesn't feel like going to the middle. It just feels like hovering and walking and staying on the left side. See, sometimes it stays in the middle. Sometimes. And then there's times it's just standing there from the left. And I can't even shoot him. There's really nowhere I can shoot or do anything. And then this is when it's going to be infinite amount of ads. Infinite Arc Knights. You know, it's going to have a timer, like 20 or 30 second delay timer. And then they're gonna respawn again and again and again and again. Infinitely. It just doesn't make any sense. Now someone will say they did nerf it. I did remember they nerfed it. Mars. But still it doesn't make any sense. It still doesn't feel the same. I just don't understand. You know, I don't understand this battleground. I don't understand why is it even here. So this is another spot you can go if things are not working out. For me, it wasn't working out. Stoppable champions being stubborn, can't do DPS, and it's just irritating. I mean, there's really nothing I can say. I mean, once you deal with the champions, the most hardest part is the barrier. Because the problem with the barrier is you have to take him down quickly. You can't take your sweet time on it. You have to take him down, use your super rocket. You know, rocket, barrier, super, and then rocket. And then finisher if it doesn't get taken down for the barrier champion. So you can't take your sweet time. And I will say that even though I tried to do that method, I messed up, and then I had to fight to, I had to struggle and fight with the barrier champion just to, just to complete this area. So as I said, it's gonna be Arknights. I shoot solar. They're gonna be standing around here. I was just trying to see if I can wait for my super. There's no way I'm going to take down this barrier with no super. Alright? But it's just so much work and it's just not worth it. So I'm going to do a mini time skip here and wait for my super. You can also shoot down, take down the ads to get super as well, but I'm not going to waste people's time, so I'm going to do a mini time skip. Once I got my super, because I'm not wasting people's time for this thing, this battleground harder version GM, I guess. So the most easiest way I can think of for the hunter is you use your rocket. He's gonna do ballerina twirl, stagger it, make sure he's staggered, by the way, and then use your super rocket. Done. Or if it doesn't work, if he somehow twirls while you tether it, which it can happen, then you have to use your finisher. So once I do that, now you can capture and defend the ghosts. You can stay invisible while it's hacking the door, or while you're defending the ghosts, or basically while you're capturing the area. Pretty much. You have to also be close to it. You can't be away from it. See, the reason why I was away from it is because I wanted to stay away from the curse thralls. Now, I could take them down with the bow. I just didn't do that because I didn't want to deal with the Arknights. See, the Arknights are the most biggest threats because they shoot solar. They can two-shot you, sometimes one-shot you on bugs on console, or pretty much on PC, I guess. It could be a nightmare. See? Exactly. Teleportation. See, I wasn't over-exaggerating. They do that. Sometimes Unstoppable Champion just teleports behind me and then I get one shot. Battleground doesn't even belong on the playlist. Why is it even here? I just don't get it. It's not even difficult. It's not even challenging of what Bungie said a twab. They want to make this season challenging, right? It's just annoyance. It's just annoying, grimy, not fun. For me, it's not fun. I mean, how will the new casual players find this fun? I don't think they will find it fun at all. I think they'll be confused, especially with the new mods and with this armor charge instead of charge of light. Basically, armor charge is charge of light. They'll be more confused than ever. And then with these surges, overcharge stuff, even more complicated for them. Now I know what armor charges, overcharges, surges. I didn't use surges because it's not even worth me even using it. See, here's the problem for this season. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but notice on GMs, there's really not interesting builds you can use besides orb builds. I mean, have you guys noticed there's really not a lot of builds you can do for this season besides orb builds? Now, right now, I'm trying to do a charge of light build, or in other words, a armor charge build. And I'm just trying to get my finisher. I get stacks and stacks, right? And I'm getting double energy, and then it doesn't, it doesn't disintegrate. And the reason why it doesn't disintegrate is because I'm not using any surges, Final Wisdom, Solar Surge, all those goody stuff. And the reason why I'm not using it is because it has a timer, 10 seconds. And then you can also have a mod which costs 3 energy, I think, which you extended by 2, so 12 seconds. For me, there's just no point for GM. Basically, GM's for proving grounds and this thing, this battleground. It's not even worth of using it. Maybe with Shield Break Charge because there is a lot of shields for Arknights, but that's about it. There's just really not a lot of builds you can do for solo Grandmasters. But anyway, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing here is I was waiting for my super. Taking down the champions. And then once I do, I hack and then defend the ghost. So now during this phase is when you have to just turn invisible and then just be close to the ghosts. So if you guys notice, if you are away from the ghost, it's going to restart and then you have to scan again. So that's mainly what I'm doing here. You don't have to clear all these ads. Mainly the objective is the mini bosses that stay close to the ghost. Then it stops hacking. So I'm going to wait a little while because then we're going to have another champion that will spawn. So mainly it's going to be a barrier, which is going to be a pain, and more teleportation just goes on. This is why I don't like this thing, this battleground. So I'm going to be waiting for my super once again because I need to deal with the ogre. Well, mainly the barrier champion. So during this part, the ogre was actually in the middle, which I wish the unstoppable champion could do that. Sometimes it doesn't want to do it. So the problem of standing this spot is the Arknights sometimes get aggressive and then they try to, well, one-shot you. And you have to break the shield with your scout, or you could just spam kinetic, to take them down. See, the reason why I'm just using this scout is because I get a 50% more damage on kinetic for just 5 seconds. Just thought it'd be pretty cool to use. So, in other words, you don't really have to use explosive payload. I mean, if you had disruption break, just use a arc scout with disruption break because you'll do more damage, especially with the solar surge this week, which doesn't make any sense. Every week is different. I really don't like that for GMs. It's really annoying. Just wish it could just stay one surge. But hey, they want to make it more challenging, right? Let's make it challenging. Now, you're probably thinking I could use my finisher there. I didn't use my finisher because I knew there was a couple of Arknights that I already know they're going to be ready to one-shot me. And yes, they do a lot of ballerina twirls. And the main reason why I use the Arc Scout is to gather more orbs. So when you do break the shield, you get the orbs, which they give you a lot of energy. Well, for super energy, I mean. Alright, so hopefully we'll take down this Arknight and then we'll deal with this annoying ogre. See, the problem here is the problem is I have my super, but I can't really use my super. I have to take down this ogre. And it's gonna be a pain because he's so tanky unless it was Void Search, you know, could have done extra 25 more damage. Oh well, you know, this is basically what this season is. You just, every week is different. I mean, what if I'm on a week of vacation? You know, and then I come back, oh, it's Solar Surge. I mean, sometimes I don't even have time to get online to play on Void Search just to do more damage for Void subclass and get the kinetic overcharge. I just don't really like the layout at all for this season. Hurry up, Ogre. I don't got all day. Just want to get this done and over it. Then, forgive me of the console aim assist. I don't know why people complain and say that. Console has aim assist, right? It's easier for them. Actually, no, it's not. I wish there was no console aim assist. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, sometimes I'm trying to do precision shots on an ogre or anything, and then it moves on its own, especially far away, mid-distance. Just doesn't make any sense. Like right now, I'm just trying to shoot this ogre, and it's not letting me. This invisible wall is in the way. So once I take down this ogre, then we'll definitely take down the barrier. For this one, I'm trying to remember, to be honest. I think I took down the mini boss first, then the barrier. Because this guy can actually one-shot you. So I did use my super. And then I pull back. Now I could have used my kinetic, by the way, to take down the barrier and then use my rocket. But I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to risk it because it's just not worth it. I mean, look, 34 minutes. I don't want to waste my time on this Battleground harder version, this GM. I don't understand this Grandmaster Battleground. So now I'm going to be waiting for my super, so I'm going to do a time skip and save everyone's time. So once I got my super, but as I said before, I could have done this run more faster if I didn't wait for my super and stuff. I didn't do it because it's just not worth my time. You know, there's a lot of things I could have done much more faster, but it's just not worth it. And as I said, I'm not even bothering myself even using the new controller. I'm just using the regular one. It's not even worth it. My time even using it. So I did struggle a bit. You can see here why I didn't want to hang out at all at this area, especially when there's a swarm amount of ads. So once I took down the barrier champion, I pulled back because my invisibility is gone. We took down all the champions, so all you have to do is just wait for your invisibility and then just capture the plate, or make sure you defend the ghost because it's having a hard time opening the door. I guess it's just so clingy, just wants to be with the guardian. Either that, but as I said, I don't think Battleground belong in Nightfalls. It just doesn't belong on the playlist for Vanguard, for Grandmasters, you know, mainly Grandmasters. Because I know they added Battlegrounds on the Vanguard playlist, alright? I know someone's gonna say, well, they added it, Blitz, la 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 la. But it just doesn't belong Grandmaster. Now, if people love it, because I know there's gonna be these sweaty players that love that this is a Grandmaster. I don't like it, but why can't Bungie just put a master version of Battlegrounds playlist? I don't like it. But for the people who love it, why not just make a master version with revives and stuff? You know, I mean, that's for them, not for me. I refuse to call this a Nightfall. I just don't like it. Alright, so now we're going to proceed to the next area, and this is going to be really interesting because I actually almost got hit by the lasers. I was trying to see if I could double jump, then I forgot I was on Hunter. You know, I'm not on Titan or Warlock, which I was extremely sad. So make sure you are extremely careful dealing with these lasers because they one-shot you. And when I say they one-shot you, I really mean it. Over here, you could just turn invisible and make your way to the bridge, I guess. I think the balance difficulty for Nightfalls, for Hero Legend, Master, Grandmaster is imbalanced. And the reason why I say that is when you do play the playlist or the Nightfall or Hero or Innocent playlist, right? When you play Mars, the lasers one-shot you. Why does it one-shot you on Hero version? On a harmless playlist, Vanguard playlist, one-shots you. Like, I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense. I don't like it. Alright, that for me, that's a difficulty of imbalance. And then another thing that bothers me is the legend is minus 15. Master is minus 20. And guess what's Grandmaster? No, seriously, guess. I want you guys to guess. Guess what's Grandmaster? Minus 25. So all this time, all the Master runs I've been doing is basically GM. It's just a mini G. Actually, it's just a GM. It's just minus 5. Makes no difference. That's why I say the balance of difficulty in Nightfalls, it's imbalanced. It's all messed up. It is completely messed up. I don't like it. They need to sort it out. Alright? Master shouldn't be minus 20. It should be minus 15. I know it sounds crazy. I know people would disagree with me, but it doesn't make sense. You're basically playing a Master. You're basically playing a GM on a Master Nightfall. And it's actually more harder. I mean, think about it. Attrition, togetherness. Alright, so back to the boring Mars harder version of Battleground because everyone loves it. I decided to just see what's going on because this is actually my first time at this area. Funny story, I was actually spending more times at the towers and defending the ghosts more than the catwalks or the bridge and the boss fight. Isn't that hilarious? Now there's gonna be 2 barrier champions and you're gonna love this because this barrier champion decided to do the ballerina twirls. See what I mean? Even when I had the tracking on the rocket, it still didn't really do so much. So remember console aim assist where PC players complained about consoles having aim assist? Well, look at this. This is a perfect example of why I hate console aim assist. I mean, I'm trying to do precision shots and all these ads are in my way. It's making my controller move. Well, it's making my guardian move. You know, it's like I want to aim this guy, not the champion. See? How am I supposed to do precision shots when this Arc Knight is doing ballerina twirls, dancing, showing off its moves when I try to do precision shots on this barrier champion? Do you see what I mean? I'm trying, guys. It's moving on its own. Seriously, it is. I'm not over-exaggerating. Try it yourself. Please, someone on Xbox and PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, please comment. This is so annoying. I hate this so much. Now, another argument is you could use your super. See, the reason why I didn't want to go too close is because I noticed these Arc Knights start to spam Arc. And you know how it is, these champions, just like Lightblade. Kinda. Like this, for example, where they'll shoot Arc at you and they do almost half damage of your health. So there was just no point of me getting a little closer to the barrier champions because these Arc Knights and the barrier champions just gonna spam Arc at me and then done. Waste 40 minutes of my life. Alright, are you done, barrier champion? You already did all these ballerina twirls, these dancing lessons. You're already showing the guardians your moves. I'm fed up already, guys. I can't take it anymore. I'm tired. I'm extremely exhausted. It's too grindy. I really don't like this season. Alright, console amuses, can I just deal with these acolytes? Please? Thank you? Isn't this fantastic? I honestly need to go and touch grass. Alright. This is just so irritating. Like, what is this acolyte or these thralls doing? It's just running around back and forth, left and right, like proving grounds. So this is gonna be the method where you have to capture the orbs. See, for me, I'm not gonna do it because I just don't think it's worthy of my time. I'm just gonna do the easy way. I'm just gonna wait for the timer, for the reinforcements to arrive, and I'm just gonna touch grass. See, and by the way, you're probably wondering why I'm not hugging the wall. If you hug the wall too much, then the acolytes will throw fire at you. And if you are too far from the wall, then the acolytes will hit you. So it's a no win-win. So just be aware that sometimes the acolytes can hurt you, but you could just turn invisible for Hunter. Or you could hug the wall, but just be aware of the acolytes can throw fire at you. So I am just going to stay here until reinforcements arrive. It's not even worth my time. You know, it's like, you gotta destroy the Hive seals, Guardian. Nah, I'm just gonna let reinforcements arrive and I'm gonna touch grass. But you gotta do it. You gotta destroy the Hive seals. Aw, man. See, even this game doesn't want me to touch grass. You see what I mean? This game is too grindy to the point where these thralls doesn't want me to touch grass. Alright, so once we let the reinforcements arrive, now we got to deal with champions. You know, this is gonna be extremely fun. So I did mess up over here. Mainly you want to stagger the unstoppable champion, but because of console aim assist, and people complain that we have an easier time of having console aim assist on PlayStation, on Xbox. That makes it so much easier to deal with the champions and GMs. I messed up and I wasn't able to take down the champion, use my super accurately. Oh, and did I mention there is going to be solar wizards that do massive damage with their arc? Oh yeah, about that. So there's going to be these wizards. I do recommend just use your rocket. Take down the wizards when you see them. They were just hiding. I was going to wait for them, but at the same time, I just want to deal with Unstoppable Champion. Alright, and I'm not going to get too close because there's going to be a lot of fire, arc, void from the Unstoppable Champion. So it's going to be a big pain. Alright. So now what I'm going to do over here is try to take down a wizard, and then whichever champion I see up front, alright, I'm going to try my best to take it down. Because there's just a lot of aim assist. So much aim assist. So frustrated. So you can see over here, I'm trying to take down the champion. But then I was like, okay, well, let me see if I could take down the barrier since it's always in the front and just there. But guess what? This champion decided to back away so I can't see it. This is so frustrating, and this is why Battlegrounds doesn't belong on Grandmaster's playlist. It doesn't belong here. Why is it even here? I don't understand. I don't find it difficult. It's just annoyance. A nuisance. Grindy. Not fun. Not enjoyable. And let's not get started with Guardian ranks. Oh yeah, about that. Oh yeah, about the Guardian ranks. I don't like Guardian ranks, by the way. If you're wondering why I'm rank 7, it's because I was forcefully, yes, Bungie forces players to be on specific ranks to unlock mods. Bet no one told you about that. I bet no one's even talking about it. I'm the only one who has seen this. So when you're rank 5, there are certain mods that you can unlock and use. When you're rank 6, there is also certain mods you can't use until you're rank 7. Alright, anyway, we're going to be dealing with the boss. So I'm going to be using my super. I'm gonna throw a grenade. And I'm gonna go to the mini cheese spot. So I'm gonna be going to the mini cheese spot, alright? So I'm definitely just gonna stand here, wait for the boss to go aggressive, and then just stand here. I'm just gonna spam Wish Ender. So what you can do over here is you can spam Wish Ender, use your super until the boss's health is half. So I'm gonna do a mini time skip here because it's just mainly here of me 3 minutes of my life just spamming the bow, and it's really boring, to be honest. Not worth of my time. You just want to get to the point, so I'm gonna do a mini time skip over here. Once I spend 2 minutes of my guardian life, alright, just remember I'm guardian rank 7, not guardian rank 11. Just letting everyone know that. Alright, okay, joke aside. Alright, so once we do half of the health of the boss, you have to turn invisible, make sure you're away from the boss because sometimes the boss can't see you, you know, depending on which invisibility you're using. You can go and take down the Arknights. Now over here I was trying to go for the platinum rank, but it didn't work out. You know, sometimes you can skip the barrier champion and then get platinum. In here it didn't work out, so oops, you know. So there's gonna be the last 2 champions, Unstoppable and Barrier. So I was taking my time dealing with the Unstoppable Barrier champion, if anyone's wondering. So I thought it'd be a good idea to take down the barrier, well, the Unstoppable champion, and then skip the barrier to get platinum. Well, unfortunately didn't work on this video, which it's no big deal because it's just not worth it. So I did get gold. I was just missing a barrier. I mean, I could have used my super, you know, rocket, super, bow, rocket. I could do that method, but it just wasn't really worth it. I mean, do you really want to risk 55 minutes of your life dealing with the barrier and then you have to start all over again? I don't think you want to do that. I don't want to do it. So over here I was just trying to see if I can deal with the barriers. Well, I was just trying to deal with Unstoppable, and then what you can do here is if your invisibility is not working, it's not looking good, you could just pull back to the mini safe spot. Now, I will say this, during the arc charges, I will do mini time skip of me waiting for my dodge. So right now, I'm just waiting for my smoke, so I will do a mini time skip of this one. You know, hopefully I won't, you know, hopefully Blitz won't get scared. Come on, Blitz, hurry up. Taking forever. So now we're gonna go and deal with Unstoppable. Just trying to find a good angle. I was thinking the stairs, but then that, you know, mini boss could one-shot me. You know, it's like the most scariest part for this entire Battleground Grandmaster version, I guess. You know, refuse to call it a nightfall, by the way. Just don't. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand. Alright, I'm gonna pull back again because I messed up. So just let everyone know this was my first time at the boss fight. So, you know, everything was new and I just wanted to get it done. That was basically me in this video. Wanted to get it done. I didn't care how long it was gonna take. Alright, so now I'm gonna go and deal with Unstoppable Champion. Even though I could have skipped it and then just, you know, deal with the arc orbs. Oh well, you know, I was trying to get platinum, didn't work out. What a waste of 5 minutes of my life. Alright, so now we're almost gonna be dealing with the Unstoppable Champion, and once I deal with him, we're gonna deal with the Arknight. It's gonna be so fun. Gonna have the best day ever. Happiest guardian ever. So once again, I'm going to deal with the unstoppable champion. Hopefully nothing bad will happen. So make sure you stagger, use rocket, and then just focus on dealing with the Arknights. But you can see a perfect example over here. When you're using finisher, all these ads start to shoot you, which is why I would recommend having the overshield when using finisher, especially on Hunter. My bad for this, I went to the wrong spot. So make sure you know the right spot to go to your safe area. So now this is going to be the fun part. So I'm actually going to do many time skips here. So this is just me waiting for my dodge. So I'm just going to show once this, and then I'm just going to do many time skips here and there. So what you can do over here is you can wait for your invisibility, and then you can just use your rocket to deal with the Arknights. Now the one thing I didn't know, which I wish I would have known, is when you do get the Orbs from the Arknights, it has a timer. So you only have less than 18 seconds to dunk the orb, or it will disintegrate and you have to start all over again. I'm not even joking. So it did happen to me once because I didn't know that it happens on, on Grandmaster or anything. And this is just one of the reasons why it just doesn't belong here. I just don't get it. So now what we're going to do over here is make sure I deal with this Arknight. He's being a little bit aggressive, a little bit annoying. So make sure you turn invisible. And then when you do get the orb, like I said, you only have like 18 seconds. Well, 20 seconds. But the thing is, when you do get it, okay, it starts, the timer goes down and down. And this is me didn't know, by the way. I was trying to dunk the orb and I barely made it. But you can see here that it's around 20 seconds, but I would say 18 seconds because it would take some time to pick it up, And then you just go back here and then wait for your invisibility. So here I'm going to do a mini time skip. So I'm going to wait for all my invisibility. So once I waited patiently, even though it doesn't deserve my patience in this Grandmaster Battlegrounds, I decided to deal with the Arknight. Now sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. So if it doesn't work out, you must pull back and start all over again. I do recommend just using your super because, well, there's really no point of saving it for the boss. Of course you can use it for the bigger champion, but I just didn't think it was worth it. As I said before, I was trying to do the platinum rank where you skip one champion, but it didn't work in this video, unfortunately. Alright, so once again, I'm going to be waiting for my dodge. Once I waited for my dodge, because it takes a while, we'll say 35 seconds. Now I'm going to go deal with another Arknight. So this is what I'm talking about here. I think this is the part where I messed up. So if you guys notice, when you do take down the Arknight and then dunk the orb, it spawns the same spot over and over again. Now the bad thing is, if you don't dunk the Arc Orb in time, then the spawns for the Arknight is going to be somewhere else. And this is probably the biggest mistake I ever done. So make sure when you get the orb, make sure you dunk the orb, because the Arknight is going to spawn somewhere else, or it's just going to be awkward. So I was trying to do it, my bad. And this is me just standing here like a bit angry because I didn't know that it disintegrates, and I wasn't really paying attention to the timer. Alright, who would pay attention to the timer? It's a Battlegrounds, right? Especially on the Legend playlist, no one really pays attention so much. So, because of that, I messed up. No one's perfect. Now I have to wait for my dodge and then try to deal with another Arknight. Once I was waiting and thinking what to do, I saw an Arknight close by, and I thought, hey, you know what, maybe I'll take him down instead of the far distance one. So I was trying to see if I could take him down. He was a little too close. That's why I didn't really use my rocket. If you guys are thinking why I did not use my rocket. So that's why I did jump a bit and then use a dodge. So like I said, make sure when you do see the Arc Orb, take down the Arknight and quickly make sure you get the... Make sure you dunk the orb fast. So here I had to go really fast because there was just a lot of things going on. You know, Arknight shooting me, Acolytes throwing fire. Had to wait for the fire to disintegrate because it was gonna burn my Guardian. So once again, we captured the orb. Well, we dunked the orb and now 2 more to go. So I'm gonna wait for my dodge and then do another time skip. It's gonna be so fun. So one thing you do need to be aware is the boss will stand on your safe spot. So make sure you do a smoke and then dodge and try to stay away from him because sometimes he can see you when you're invisible, especially when you are using the smoke instead of the dodge. So I am going to be using my super and he did the ballerina twirl, no surprise. So just make sure when you're using a rocket, don't shoot the Arknight too close because you could get killed by your own rocket. So here I was getting the pattern, by the way, because in the beginning of the boss fight, I wasn't really understanding too much of what was going on. I was just reading the objective because for me, Battlegrounds, I never touch Battlegrounds. Like the playlist, I never touch it just to get stuff done, objectives done, that's it. Alright, so now we're gonna go deal with the final orb. So I was looking, by the way, and I saw that the mini boss or the final boss was walking near the Arknight. And I was trying to figure out how is this gonna even work. You know, we'll see if it works or not. So now I'm going to dodge and then I decided to see where the Arknight was gonna be. It looks like he can see me a bit, like I said. Depending on which invisibility you're using, it can see you a bit. So now I'm trying to see if I can use my smoke. And then I'm going to wait. So I decided to wait for a while because I noticed the wizard was shooting a lot of arc at me. So once we do get the final arc orb, then we can do DPS for the final boss. Alright, so I think everything looks good so far. I was just making sure no surprise attacks from the final boss. So now I'm going to back away. I saw that the Arknight is there. Now I was going to use my finisher, but the problem was this. The boss was way too close. So I couldn't really use finisher on it. So I was trying to see if I can use the bow to take him down. Then I decided to scout because I noticed he went up the stairs, which is unfortunate for me. And I saw the boss. Well, I saw the Arknight. He went in the middle of the stairs. Decided to use finisher. The orb fell down. Oh, great. Perfect. And then I quickly just grabbed the orb and then just deal with the boss. So once this happens, I pull back because this is when the boss starts running. Just like Lightblade, when the head is gone from Lightblade, he starts running really fast and starts spamming arc. Kind of like this, except you can find a nice spot to deal with this boss. So now I'm just gonna wait for the boss to be at front so we can do DPS and then just complete this horrible Grandmaster Battlegrounds version. So if you guys are noticing, I'm just doing a little tag just to wave at the boss so it can actually run towards the safe spot, which it worked. So once you see the boss, then you could just spam precision shots over and over again. And that's basically what you do. So he's really tanky, but this is basically the safest way you can do dealing with the boss. I really hope they're gonna fix the bugs too, because auto-loading solar holster is not working on a solar rocket. That's why I was using a rocket with auto-loading holster, because it wasn't working at all, and it was frustrating dealing with the bigger champions, with unstoppable champions, because it just takes 2 seconds to reload and you need that 2 seconds of DPS. Anyway, Grandmasters, I mean, it's great. What are you talking about, Blitz? It sucks! It's horrible! Just tell them the truth! Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's probably the worst idea Bungie's ever done for this season. I'm sorry, it just seems a bit too rush. It just seems a bit too rush of them putting Battlegrounds on a Vanguard playlist. It's like all these strikes, right? They're all having a meeting, a chat, and then this Battlegrounds out of nowhere that has nothing to do with strikes or story just barges in and says, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna stay here for 3 months if you don't mind." And then she's just looking at Battlegrounds like, what are you doing here? And that's how I feel. What are you doing here, Battlegrounds? Especially on Grandmasters. And so another thing is commentary. So the reason why I was doing non-commentary videos is, as I said, I feel like no one cares about console players at all. That's why I didn't really do any commentary videos, because, well, what's the point? I don't think anyone cares. Unless I was on PC. I mean, that's basically what I see so far. We don't really get knowledge at all. Not at all, which is sad. It's the truth. It's the truth. I'm not even over-exaggerating. This is the truth. Console players are not really getting support. Not so much, and that's how I feel. That's why I didn't really do any commentary videos, because it's just triple amount of work. So much work. Versus just uploading the solo run, which is so much easier, 10 times easier than doing this kind of video. Anyway guys, this is the run. I'm not going to redo for a cleaner run or anything. It's not worth my time. As I said, it's not even worth me using the new PlayStation 5 controller. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.